She had only one piece of food left. And she was already starving. But when Amara saw an old, poorly dressed man sitting alone at a Lagos bus stop, trembling from hunger, she did something nobody expected. She gave him her food. "Papa, please eat. I can survive until tomorrow." The old man stared at her in disbelief. "You would give me your last meal?" Amara smiled. Someone has to care. What she didn't know was that the old man wasn't who he appeared to be. He was secretly the father of one of the richest men in Africa. And when his billionaire son discovered what this poor girl had done, he made a decision that would completely change Amara's life. But before he could reward her, someone accused her of stealing millions from his company. And the evidence pointed directly at her. Did Amara lose everything because of one act of kindness? In the busy city of Lagos, where expensive cars shared the roads with crowded buses and street vendors, lived a 22-year-old girl named Amara. She had no wealthy relatives, no influential connections, and barely enough money to survive each week. After losing her father while she was still in secondary school, Amara moved to the city with her mother and younger brother. Her mother sold akra by the roadside, while Amara worked as a cleaner in a small restaurant. Life had taught Amara to be careful with money, but poverty had never succeeded in making her heart hard. Every morning, before going to work, she would put aside a small portion of her breakfast for anyone she saw who looked hungrier than herself. One rainy afternoon, Amara was returning from work when she noticed an elderly man sitting alone at a bus stop. His clothes were faded and soaked from the rain. His slippers were worn out, and he held a small black plastic bag against his chest. People walked past him without looking. Amara stopped. "Papa, are you all right?" The old man slowly raised his head. "I am fine, my daughter," he replied. But Amara could see that he was lying. Amara sat beside him. "Have you eaten today?" The old man hesitated before shaking his head. Amara had only one meat pie left. It was supposed to be her dinner. She looked at it for several seconds before handing it to him. "Please eat." The old man stared at her. "You don't know me. Why would you give me your food?" Amara smiled. "Because hunger doesn't ask whether someone is rich or poor." The old man quietly accepted the food. He ate slowly, almost as if he wanted the meal to last forever. After eating, the old man introduced himself as Pa Daniel. He told Amara that he had come to Lagos looking for someone but had lost his way. His phone had stopped working, and he had no money for transportation. Amara offered to pay his fare. Pa Daniel immediately refused. "No, my daughter. You have already done too much." But Amara insisted. She used the money she had planned to take home for transportation and gave it to him. Before leaving, Pa Daniel asked for her name. "Amara." He repeated it quietly. "Amara. I will never forget that name." The next morning, Amara was surprised to see Pa Daniel standing outside the restaurant where she worked. "Papa. What are you doing here?" "I came to thank you." He handed her a small envelope. Amara refused to open it. "I didn't help you because I wanted money." Pa Daniel smiled. "I know." He took the envelope back. "Then keep helping people." Amara laughed. She had no idea that the old man was about to change her life forever. Several days later, Pa Daniel returned. This time, he looked weak. Amara noticed that he was struggling to walk. She immediately helped him sit down and bought him medicine. The restaurant owner watched from a distance. "You know that old man?" "Yes." "Be careful. Some people pretend to be poor." Amara shrugged. "Maybe. But if someone is hungry, I would rather help than regret ignoring them." The owner shook his head. "You are too trusting." What Amara didn't know was that Pa Daniel was not originally from Lagos. He had come from Enugu. He had spent most of his life running a successful transport business before handing it over to his only son. His son, Daniel Jr., had transformed that small business into a massive logistics empire. Today, Daniel Jr. was one of the youngest billionaires in Nigeria. But Pa Daniel had deliberately traveled alone without telling anyone. He wanted to discover something. He wanted to know whether people respected him because of his money or because of who he was. Daniel Jr. was 35 years old. He owned logistics companies, warehouses, real estate investments and technology businesses across several African countries. But despite his wealth, he rarely appeared in public. His father had always warned him. Money can buy people around you, but it cannot buy genuine love. Daniel Jr. thought his father was simply being old-fashioned. Then his father disappeared. Daniel Jr. immediately sent security officers to search for him. Hospitals were checked. Police stations were contacted. Friends were called. Nothing. Then one evening, his father finally called. "I am safe." Daniel Jr. almost shouted. "Where are you?" His father smiled. "I am exactly where I need to be. Papa, please come home." "Not yet." Then the old man ended the call. Daniel Jr. was confused. He had no idea that his father had met a poor young woman who had given him her last meal. Meanwhile, Amara's life became harder. Her mother became sick, and medical bills began piling up. Her younger brother also needed school fees. Amara worked extra shifts at the restaurant. She often returned home exhausted. One night, she found Pa Daniel sitting outside their compound. "You look tired." "I am." "Why don't you rest?" Amara smiled sadly. Poor people don't always have the luxury of resting. Pa Daniel's eyes filled with tears. The next morning, Pa Daniel deliberately dropped an expensive-looking wristwatch near Amara. He wanted to see what she would do. Amara found it while sweeping. She immediately took it to him. "Papa, you dropped this." Pa Daniel stared at her. "You could have kept it." "I could have." "Why didn't you?" "Because it isn't mine." For the first time, Pa Daniel realized that Amara was exactly the kind of person he had been hoping to find. The restaurant owner soon discovered that Pa Daniel frequently visited Amara. He became suspicious. One afternoon, he accused Amara of stealing money from the restaurant. She was shocked. "I didn't steal anything." But he refused to listen. He fired her in front of everyone. Amara walked home crying. Pa Daniel witnessed everything. He quietly made a phone call. "Find out everything about that restaurant." Within days, Daniel Jr.'s private investigators discovered that the restaurant owner had been stealing from his own business. Pa Daniel showed the evidence to his son. "Do you know this girl?" Daniel Jr. shook his head. "Not yet." His father explained everything. Daniel Jr. was stunned. "She gave you her food?" "Her last food." "And she paid your transport?" "With her own money." Daniel Jr. became silent. One afternoon, a well-dressed man arrived at Amara's house. He introduced himself as Daniel. Amara assumed he was another businessman. "I heard you helped my father." Amara immediately recognized the name. "Pa Daniel?" The man smiled. "Yes." Amara became nervous. "Is he all right?" "He is fine." Then Daniel Jr. looked around the tiny house. He saw the broken furniture, the leaking roof, the empty food cupboard. Yet this was the same woman who had given his father her last meal. Daniel Jr. offered Amara a job. She immediately asked, "What kind of job?" "Personal assistant to my father." Amara hesitated. "I don't have the qualifications." "You have something more important." "What?" "Character." Amara accepted. But she had no idea who Daniel really was. Several days later, Amara accompanied Pa Daniel to a large family estate. The moment she entered the compound, she froze. Luxury cars filled the driveway. Security guards stood at the entrance. Servants hurried around the house. Amara turned toward Pa Daniel. "Papa, where are we?" He smiled. "Home." Then Daniel Jr. walked toward them. "Welcome." Amara stared at him. "Who are you?" Daniel Jr. smiled. "My name is Daniel." Her eyes widened. "The billionaire?" He nodded. Amara nearly fainted. Amara became angry. "You knew who you were all along." Pa Daniel nodded. "Yes. You allowed me to think you were homeless. I wanted to know whether you would help me without expecting anything." Amara's voice trembled. "You tested me." "I did." She walked away. For the first time, she felt that her kindness had been turned into an experiment. Daniel Jr. found Amara outside. "My father was wrong to test you." Amara looked at him. "But he was right about one thing." "What?" "Your kindness is rare." Daniel offered her money. She refused. "I don't want money because I helped your father." Daniel smiled. "Then don't take it as payment." He handed her a document. "Take it as an opportunity." The document was a scholarship agreement. Daniel offered to pay for Amara's education and professional training. He also offered medical treatment for her mother. Amara cried. "Why would you do all this?" Daniel answered. "Because my father gave me wealth. You reminded me what wealth is supposed to be used for." Not everyone was happy. Daniel's cousin, Kelvin, became suspicious. He believed Amara was trying to get close to Daniel for money. He began spreading rumors. She planned everything. She planned everything. She knew who Pa Daniel was. She's pretending to be poor. Soon, the rumors reached Daniel's family. During a family gathering, Kelvin confronted Amara. "You saw an opportunity and grabbed it." Amara remained silent. Daniel defended her. "Enough." But Amara stopped him. "No. Let him speak." She looked directly at Kelvin. "If I wanted your family's money, I would have kept the watch." Everyone became silent. "What watch?" Kelvin asked. Amara explained. Daniel's father confirmed the story. Kelvin had no answer. While the family argued, Pa Daniel suddenly became ill. Doctors were called. The diagnosis was serious. Daniel Jr. stayed beside his father throughout the night. Amara also remained. Pa Daniel opened his eyes. "My son." "Yes, Papa." "Promise me something." "What?" "Never allow money to make you forget people." Daniel held his father's hand. "I promise." Months passed. Amara returned to school. Her mother received treatment. Her brother returned to school. But Amara did not forget where she came from. She started a small community feeding program. Every weekend, she distributed food to elderly people and struggling families. When Daniel asked why she was doing it, she said, "Someone once gave me hope when I had almost none." Pa Daniel often visited the feeding program. People who once ignored him now greeted him. But he preferred sitting quietly among ordinary people. One day, a little boy asked him, "Papa, are you rich?" Pa Daniel laughed. "I have enough." The boy asked, "How much is enough?" Pa Daniel pointed toward Amara. "Enough to help someone else." Kelvin, still bitter, decided to create one final problem. He secretly transferred money from one of Daniel's companies into an account connected to Amara. Then he reported the transaction. Amara was accused of stealing millions. She was devastated. "I didn't do this." Daniel believed her. But the evidence looked convincing. Daniel ordered a full investigation. The company's security team traced the transaction. They discovered that Kelvin had used an employee's credentials. Kelvin was confronted. At first, he denied everything. Then the evidence became impossible to escape. He confessed. "I thought she was taking everything from us." Daniel looked at him sadly. "You nearly destroyed an innocent woman because you were jealous." Daniel offered Amara a large amount of money. This time, she accepted only enough to secure her family's future. Then she returned the rest. "I don't need to become rich overnight." Daniel asked. "What do you want?" Amara smiled. "I want to build a school for children from poor families." Daniel looked at his father. Pa Daniel smiled. "Now you understand what wealth means." 2 years later, Amara opened a small school. It was called the Hope Foundation School. Children from poor families attended without paying school fees. Amara also employed widows and unemployed mothers to prepare meals for the students. The school grew rapidly. People began calling her Mama Hope. But Amara always remembered the rainy afternoon when everything began. Pa Daniel became weaker with age. One evening, he called Amara to his room. "You changed my son's life." Amara shook her head. "No, Papa. You changed mine." He smiled. "You helped an old man when you believed he had nothing." Amara held his hand. "I would do it again." Pa Daniel closed his eyes peacefully. "I know." Years later, Amara stood before hundreds of students at her school. She told them, "I once gave food to a hungry old man because I thought he had nothing." The children listened carefully. Later, I discovered that his son was a billionaire. Everyone laughed. But that was not the important part. She looked around the room. The important part was that when I helped him, I didn't know his name, his family, his bank account, or his social status. She paused. I helped him because he was hungry. And that became the greatest lesson of Amara's life. Never measure the value of kindness by the person receiving it. Sometimes, the person you help today may be the person who changes your life tomorrow. But even when there is no reward, kindness is still worth giving.